president as a man of courage who has considered me worthy to appoint me as his spokesman, special advisor on media and public communication, and will ensure that in communicating on behalf of the president to the Nigerian people, we do our best in the discharge of our function. As the official spokesman of the president, I want to assure you all of my unalloyed commitment and support and collaboration. All of us are servants of the president. There is no issue as to the differences in terms of the responsibility. Everybody knows his responsibility. I am not here to define the responsibility of anybody other than myself, because it will amount to gaslighting anybody. I only came to introduce myself to you and the role that is given to me by Mr. President. And I told you that role was once occupied by Ajuri Ngelale. So whatever understanding you have of the role that he occupied before, that is what it goes. In law, they call it res ipsa loquitur.
Welcome to my channel, where we discuss everything and all things, politics, economy, and development in Nigeria and around the world. That was Daniel Bwala introducing himself to the Presidential Press Corps as the new Ngelale. It was an interview that sunk his ambition to be the new Ajuri Ngelale. Ngelale that was literally forced to resign because of his battle for supremacy at the Presidential Villa against Bayo Onanuga. And what consumed Ngelale sent a warning shot to Bola, a reality check on Bola to know where he belongs. That is what we're going to talk about in this video. How Ngelale's overbloated ego was put to check as quickly as it comes. And if you are new to my channel, you have not yet subscribed to my channel, please subscribe to my channel, hit the subscription button, hit the notification bell. When you subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell, anytime I have a new video, you'll be among the first to know. God bless you. Now, from the video you're listening to, Daniel Bwala, the former spokesperson of Atiku Presidential Campaign Council, officially presented himself as the official spokesperson of President Bola Tinubu. Now, he made this presentation while the president was in faraway Brazil for G20 meeting. So he resumed on a day that the president was not in town. Perhaps he had already discussed with the president that he will resume, and the president gave him a job. But he failed to understand that there are power centers even within the presidential villa. Tinubu can give you an appointment, people can reschedule that appointment because there are other power centers at play. If it were during the time of Buhari, Buhari can say, I'm not aware that something happened. So Bwala presented himself as the official spokesperson of the president. In other words, he presented himself as the numero uno, as the number one. And you can see how he was careful with the press corps. He said that he's doing what the job that the president assigned to him. And he said that there was no issue as to the difference on the terms of the responsibility, that everybody knows his responsibility. In other words, Bayo Onanuga know his place. Sunday Dare know his place. and all others, the 13 others who are all spokespersons of the president, they know their place in the scheme of things. So he said that he is not here to define responsibility of anybody other than that of his own. And that of his own, he has, he visited the presidency frequently. And his assignment must have been given to him directly by the president. Okay, so he say he is not here to talk about other people's responsibility. They know their responsibility. If he is to talk about it, it will be like he was gaslighting them. He said that he only came to introduce himself and the role he was given by Mr. President. The role he was given by Mr. President. And what was that role? To be the new Ajuri Ngelale. And he rubbed it in by saying, I don't have to tell you my role. Whatever is the role that you know that Ajuri Ngelale was playing, that is what I have come to play. That is what I have come to play. I, Daniel Bwala. But shortly after his introduction of himself to the presidential press corps, obviously Bayo Onanuga is not going to have any of that, because Bayo Onanuga fought off a serious battle with Ajuri Ngelale for supremacy at the villa. And he must have looked at Bola and say, what? This one also want to come and be the new Ajuri Ngelale. Well, we have to give him a reality check. And you recall that Ajuri Ngelale and Bayo Onanuga, they fought for supremacy on who is in charge, who is the last boss. Who is the last boss in the communication battle at the presidency? The president had about 13 people who are in charge of just communication alone. I made a video where I said that the presidency is roughly a presidency that is much more concerned about propaganda than revamping the economy. Because imagine that the president had 13 economic advisors managing several sections of the Nigeria's economy, where we will be. But that's not the business of the government, because it's more concerned about propagandists who are ready to attack anybody. Some have been assigned to Peter Obi. Whatever he says, they finish him off. Some are assigned to Atiku Abubakar. Some are assigned to smaller groups, online and offline. That is of much concern to them. So within that 13 people who are managing the communication there, Bayo Onanuga quickly took over the position when Ajuri Ngelale resigned. Okay? Because you can notice that since Ajuri Ngelale resigned, if you look at newspapers, now see they now begin to refer Onanuga as the spokesperson of the president. Then this guy came in and now begin to say that he is now the official spokesperson of the president. He is looking for trouble, and then he got it. And it's good that these things are happening, so that Nigerians will begin to understand how the presidency is working. Now remember that Onanuga fought off Ngelale, who had to resign, claiming he wanted to go and look after his ailing member of his family, as if he's a medical doctor. That's what he told Nigerians, that somebody in his family is sick. And they want people to buy into that. And you know the battle that led to him going, the battle that led to Ngelale finally giving way. You know, sometimes this year, Bayo Onanuga issued a statement that the president will address a joint session of the National Assembly. After Bayo Onanuga issued that statement, of course, Bayo Onanuga is officially the special advisor to the president on information and strategy. Ajuri Ngelale countered it as the spokesperson of the president because the statement was issued without his authorization. Now he issued his own and stated that there was no such arrangement for the president to address a joint session of the National Assembly. But Ajuri Ngelale was wrong because the president did address a joint session of the National Assembly just as Bayo Onanuga stated he would. In other words, it exposed that Tinubu does not have confidence in Ajuri Ngelale. That was the beginning of the end. That was the last straw that broke the camel's back. Because you know, Ajuri Ngelale was an inheritance, literally, from Tinubu, from Buhari administration. And there were so many people within Tinubu camp that were not happy that part of the relics of Buhari was allowed to remain and come and be claiming superiority over them. And in any case, the Tinubu administration is an Emilokon administration. It is Tinubu's turn, it's Yoruba's turn. So somebody from Bayelsa cannot come and lord it over them and claim to be the final warehouse for information from the villa. They fought him and used other power centers to ensure that they frustrate him out of the villa. So Daniel Bwala from Borno State ought to have studied. He ought to have done his own research on the real reason, which I did a video on why Ajuri Ngelale threw in the towel before presenting himself as the new Ajuri Ngelale. That was his greatest undoing. Because other power centers within the villa had to remind him that in this administration, it is Emilokon, it is Tinubu's turn, it is Yoruba's turn. No Borno man, no matter his closeness to the president, will ride roughshod over Bayo Onanuga and co in the communication team of the president. Like I said, if you look at the 13 people who are in charge of Tinubu's communication, they are mostly people of Yoruba extraction. And it's not surprising because Tinubu said, this is Yoruba turn, this is Tinubu's turn. So anybody who is coming to shake up that, or who is perceived to coming to shake that up, is looking for trouble. And that was what Bola was looking for when he presented himself as the official spokesperson of the president and as the new Ajuri Ngelale. And he was given the Ajuri Ngelale treatment, but not much, not to the extent of him throwing in the towel, because they still managed to, not to bruise his ego that much, but at least they have given him an idea of where he belongs. Because it was the president that micromanaged some of this appointment. The president had given him the appointment. He thought that because the president had given him the appointment, Bola thought that he would just walk in at the president's boy and kumbaya, everything will work according to what he discussed with the president. It doesn't work that way. It doesn't work that way in this Emilokon administration. And that was why quickly, despite the fact that the presidency, because if you can see the way Bola was talking with confidence, it was the president, perhaps, that personally gave him his assignment. But that same president redesigned the appointment. Immediately, he was reminded, or whoever reassigned him immediately, he was reassigned. A new schedule was given to him under the guise of restructuring. And the presidency presented it that the president want to ensure efficiency in communication. So there was a sudden restructuring of the communication team of the president. So Mr. Sunday Dare, who hitherto was special advisor on public communication and national orientation, is now special advisor media and public communication. Daniel Bwala, who last week was announced as special advisor media and public communication State House, is now special advisor public policy communication. Policy communication. The statement said that this appointment, along with the existing role of the special advisor information and strategy, underscore that there is no single individual. There is no single individual as spokesperson for the presidency. Instead, all the three special advisors will collectively serve as spokespersons for the government. Where is that done? Where is that done? You have three persons that are spokespersons of the president. But that is what you get when you are running a government of propaganda. Something that everybody knows that it is difficult to coordinate propaganda because several people will be defending different, sometimes even without consulting, they will just have to defend. Anything that P2B said must be countered, so somebody must say something. So they are not coordinated. Even right now, apparently there's nobody is ahead, but we know that Bayo Onanuga is presenting himself as the Oga in charge, and it was that his Ogaship that brought the reality check on Bola, where they pretend that these three are equal. All of them now know that by what Bayo Onanuga had ensured happened to Bola, it is actually Bayo Onanuga that is in charge. That's my own understanding. But the last, Daniel Bwala collected the motion in less than 24 hours after he presented himself as the new Ajuri Ngelale. And what was his problem? He didn't study the reason why Ajuri Ngelale left. That is why historians say that men does not just repeat history. They have to learn from history. If you don't want to repeat history, you must learn from it. So if Daniel Bwala had taken his time to study the real reason why Ngelale decided to leave the villa, he ought to have known. He would have been careful in presenting himself as the new Ajuri Ngelale. Perhaps Bayo Onanuga wouldn't have acted so swiftly to call him to order, to do a reality check on him and put him in his place, and brought down his overbloated ego as the presidential spokesman appointed by the president. So what do you think about what happened to Ajuri Ngelale? Or what happened to Daniel Bwala after presenting himself as the new Ajuri Ngelale? Do you think that it's a good thing for Bola, who many people in APC are not even happy that he was given the position? What is your take on what happened to Ajuri Ngelale, and what happened to Daniel Bwala, who presented himself as the new Ajuri Ngelale, and he was given the Ajuri Ngelale treatment, but not to the level of forcing him to vacate the position totally? What do you think? Let's hear from you.